Hello, people of YouTube. I'm Kador, and that's Ezra.
Hi.
She's kind of just here for the time being, because why not? But yeah, I haven't made a record collection video in a while, and I have amassed a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that I still haven't heard, actually, that I just got a few weeks ago, but all the stuff from like the 6 month period before then, I'm going to be showing off in this one. Let's start with the 7 inches. So this is everything except for the last record I'll show, which will be from another place. Everything else will be from Skeleton Dust Records in Ohio. I rep them a lot. They are a great noise store. I've played there before. Anyway, first thing we got here, blocking your face, is the band Air Conditioning with this single dingle double-sided 7 inch here called Catneck. So this side is Catneck, I guess, and the other one is Frustrating Ice Princess. This is kind of like noise rock that leans more towards noise than rock. It's all right. It's not particularly great, but yeah, it's kind of cool. It's got a cat. It's got Sharon, Queen of Pie in the face. I don't know what that means. I don't know if this is some reference that I don't get, but there it is. Air Conditioning. All right. Next 7 inch is this one. I think it used to be more visible. It's all kind of faded now, but if you look closely, you can see it says Hagra. I have the sticker that came with this on my laptop right here. But one of those 7 inches that kind of just opens up in this thing. And record's pretty cool. It's like this smoky, grayish, greenish kind of color, sort of translucent.
Rad.
Yeah, this is just power electronics. It's kind of just like a wall of noise with a dude screaming on top. Really good if you like that kind of thing. And that's about all I have to say about it. I actually got I got a split that they did with some grindcore band that I haven't listened to yet, which I will, I guess, show in a future video. But yeah, this is really good if you like power electronics. And moving on to the LPs, the bigger boys, we got this collaboration between Jason Krumer and I don't know his first name, but M. Franco. Krumer and Franco, called Agony in the Zodiac. Jason Krumer is one of my favorite noise artists. He made kind of the genre classic Ottoman Black, and yeah, his approach is usually really detailed and complex, and just a lot of variety to his sound. This thing though is a pretty standard drone piece. It just kind of drones on, as the genre of drone tends to do. It's not super interesting, but yeah, there's nothing really to the package or the record itself either. These things are kind of like glued on, I think. You can like feel where it's just like pieces of paper glued on either side. Nice DIY vibe. But yeah, not really up to the standard of Krumer's other work, in my opinion, but I guess if you're a fan of drone, you may like it. Alright, next, we got a record by Damien Dubrovnik. This is one of their earlier ones called First Burning Attraction. Damien Dubrovnik are one of my favorites, kind of just music groups in general, although this isn't some of their best work in my opinion. I kind of just got it because the cover art is cool, and like it wasn't too expensive. But yeah, their album Great Many Arrows is just one of my favorite albums ever. It's incredible. But this is a more standard kind of stripped down, minimal, lo-fi approach to the whole death industrial thing. It's actually pretty melodic at times, and not particularly like aggressive or noisy or intense usually, though there is some noise elements to it. But yeah, it's good. And it's got some pretty cool, I don't know, romantic lyrics printed on the back here, with some nice collage art. So yeah, big fan of this group, generally speaking, although this isn't their best album. The couple that they made after this are a lot better, in my opinion. This next one is Ruiner by Sickness. Sickness is one of the best, like, cut-up noise kind of artists. Just really frantic, spastic, yeah, cut-up harsh noise. If you've heard any of that, you know what I'm talking about. But this one actually goes more in sort of a droney, almost ambient direction at times. It has a little bit of that cut up harsh stuff, but it's definitely you know, probably like maybe 20% of the record, whereas the rest of it is more kind of drone and that sort of thing. I think he's better when he's just doing like straight up noise, but you know, certainly not bad. Again, not really much to show here, just pretty straightforward packaging. I thought this was supposed to come with like a poster or something, but I guess not. I don't know.
Scam.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's pretty good. Sickness has definitely made a lot better stuff though, so I wouldn't start here with them. Alright, and the last one from Skeleton Dust is it's covered with a Merzbow Venereology remastered sticker for some reason. I don't know why it's in the sleeve, but I didn't actually get that. I got Trash Staging by Sissy Spacek. Sissy Spacek, for those of you who don't know, is a project of John Weiss, who was just kind of one of my favorite noise artists, and they do a lot of different things with this band, but on this record, it's basically one side plays at 45 RPM, and it's just 5 minutes of noisecore, just people slamming on their instruments, super distorted and crazy. And then the other side plays at 33 RPM, and it's just straight up harsh noise, and it's very good if you enjoy that kind of thing. Very crunchy, very satisfying, very harsh. So, yeah, CC Spacek, great project, great album. All right, and the final record that I'm showing, I don't know if this will just be a standalone video or if I'll kind of just add the other parts onto it, but whatever. This is Michigan by Sufjan Stevens. Pretty different from all the other stuff I've shown off in this one. This is just kind of a, I don't know what you call it exactly, chamber, folk, pop, kind of progressive, I don't know. It's just very pretty, soft, beautiful singer-songwriter music. And it's all about the state of Michigan, because that was his project, because he has an album called Michigan and one called Illinois, which are both amazing. And he was going to do like one for every state, and he stopped at those two. But I actually got this at a record store in Michigan, so, you know, when I saw it there, I was like, I can't really not get this album in Michigan. So I haven't actually listened to the vinyl yet, though. Probably should do that. But I have heard the album before, of course, and it's very good. It opens up into this gatefold with all the lyrics, some stuff about Michigan, I guess, like the state. And yeah, it's a double LP. It's just kind of black records, but yeah, Sufjan Stevens makes really good folk pop kind of stuff, very lavishly orchestrated, very beautiful, relaxing, and yeah, it's just another one of his fantastic albums. He's very consistent. Those are the records. I still have tapes and CDs to show off from Skeleton Dust and other places. This is Ezra, and yeah, all right. This is the CD portion where I'm talking about CDs I got. So we're gonna start with a couple mini CDs. These are the first ones of that variety that I've gotten. They're 3-inch CDRs, I guess. So this first one is, I guess, kind of just like an untitled EP by Styrofoam, which is a project that I was not familiar with before getting this. But yeah, the CD just kind of, let me show this properly. Just kind of slides out. Cool design on it. It's basically like IDM, just like electronic beats and synths, and it just sounds cool. Very well produced, and I think it has some vocals too worked in. Yeah, really cool stuff. And then this next one is, I think the project is Inhalant, and the EP is called Bloodshed. This is just kind of noise, very harsh, very intense, very crazy. It's actually not that really special, but it's harsh noise, so yeah, that's that. It's also a tiny CD, which makes it cooler. Alright, this next one is called Glassy Warhead by the project Total. So this is a release on RRR Records, kind of a classic noise label. This is part of their, actually I think it's released on Pure, which is like a sub-label of that, because this kind of packaging was like sort of a series of releases by them, CDs, I guess. So you take it out, you got this kind of printed CD with the track list and all that, And then you have this little booklet of sorts, which is basically just kind of a collage, just saying, rrrecords.com over and over. I'm guessing that's just kind of what comes with every album in the series. But yeah, this is, I think Total is generally like a power electronics project, but this isn't really that. Some of it's very like cavernous, spacey, kind of drony noise. And then it kind of goes into other directions with the other tracks. I think, I believe track one, I don't know, the long like 20-minute track is really good. The other ones didn't do quite as much for me, but yeah, very atmospheric noise, if that's your kind of thing. And next is like 3 releases. So actually, this isn't all from Skeleton Dust. A lot of this is from Encore Records in Ann Arbor, Michigan, which recently moved to a different location. So they're actually selling everything for $1. So I got like 17 things there for $17. So I just bought a bunch of CDs that I figured I kind of would want. So these next 3 are all by a project that I just showed off in the vinyl segment, and that is Sissy Spacek. Dash Anti-Clockwise. So that's basically 2 EPs, I suppose. I don't know where that you distinguish albums and EPs with this artist, but it's kind of a compilation of both of those. And yeah, they both kind of sound the same. That all just runs together. It's just noisecore. It's just a bunch of very short tracks. You can see the track listing there. It's very small print, but very short tracks, just kind of blasting on their instruments. Very distorted. No really musicality whatsoever. Just very fun, noisy chaos. Gets maybe a little bit tiring to listen to over the course of this whole thing, but it is very fun and yeah, very satisfying and loud. And then there is their album Remote Whale Control, which is it's kind of an EP actually. It's just like a the original. This is actually like a reprint kind of thing. The original was just this 22-minute track called Remote Whale Control. This one adds on like a 6-minute live recording, which you can kind of see in the notes here. Yeah, and it's just kind of, this is not their noisecore stuff so much. It's more just abstract, electronic, noisy, kind of just like glitchy stuff. Sound collage, I guess you could call it. Pretty interesting stuff. Very enjoyable for me. CD is kind of textured. It's like these scales almost. Kind of cool. But yeah, it's pretty short. Not quite as loud as the previous one. And then this last one is called Brath. And honestly, don't entirely remember what this one sounds like. I think this is more of their noisecore stuff, or it might just be straight harsh noise. But yeah, I think this is definitely on the louder end of the spectrum for them. I listened to a lot of these within the past many months, so don't completely remember all of them, but this little booklet opens up to some, just like black and white photos of ruins and such. Kind of a classic noise aesthetic, I suppose. Yeah, anyway, Sissy Spacek, very good project. So here's a compilation by Richard Ramirez called The Rim Job Collection, with track titles that I will not say, but you can go ahead and read yourself. There you go. Okay. Richard Ramirez is, in my opinion, kind of the inventor of the whole harsh noise wall thing, where it's just kind of one texture for an extended period of time, not really much development or progression, and that's more or less what you get here. Nothing amazing, but certainly some noise, and not very much dynamics or variety. Yeah.
I can read those track titles if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can read them later. Anyway, here's a list of thanks and such. Credits, liner notes, whatever. Yeah.
Sounds
and
like
then
my kind of thing.
probably not, musically speaking, but yeah. Richard Ramirez is one of the few outspoken gay noise artists. So he has a lot of, not that all these track titles are specifically gay, but he has a lot of like gay porn themed noise albums.
Interesting.
And there's that behind the CD. So yeah, This is actually released by Skeleton Dust Records, like the label that the store is, they're owned by the same guy. So, anyway, yeah, classic dude. I'm not a huge fan of all of his stuff, but I really respect him. He has made a lot of material, and this is just kind of some of it. Next up, we got the project Cock ESP with the Pride of North American Noise. So this is, I believe, just like a collection of live recordings. So you open up here, you got a bit of an American flag CD there. This group is pretty funny. They have a lot of humor to their stuff, and you see kind of photos of their live show there. And actually, I didn't really know about their live performances until I got this and kind of researched them a little bit. But they have some of the most insane live performances in noise and in music in general. Like, they kind of just roll around on the floor, knock over amps, just like, yeah, wear weird, funny, like, chicken costumes. They're completely ridiculous, and yeah, it comes with this booklet. You can kind of see some of the photos of their live shows here. Doesn't really give you the full experience though, just looking at photos. They have a lot of stuff on YouTube you can look at if you're interested. Very entertaining stuff. There's a whole like essay kind of thing here, just talking about the band, kind of the idea behind it. Yeah, I don't know how to summarize that right now, but basically this is a collection of live recordings. Their live stuff seems to be all just like basically feedback and screaming pretty much, but these are actually more sonically interesting than that. I don't know, maybe it's like edited live material, but yeah, it's actually not just like straight harsh noise. There's a lot of quieter sections, and yeah, it's pretty weird, honestly. It's not really what you'd expect, I feel like, from this group, but yeah, anyway, very fun, wacky, zany noise. Next up is a bit of a genre classic. This is Fatali by Pedestrian Deposit. This is back when this was just a solo project. Now it's a duo between him and his wife, I think, or maybe girlfriend. But this is generally considered to be their best album, or his best album. It's just kind of a blue, simple design. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of different ideas. Some very loud, harsh sections, some very soft, kind of beautiful sections. There's pianos worked in to certain parts as well. And just, yeah, there's this little booklet in here, very sparse. It just says, "It will all be over if I didn't have so much left to experience." So, yeah. Sort of like, it's very emotional noise, if that makes sense, but not in like a cheesy way where it's just like synths over top of like distortion. Plain white CD. So yeah, if you're a noise fan, you haven't heard this, get on it, because it's real good. All right. This next one's kind of an outlier. I didn't get this at a store. I actually got this at what's called the Albatwitch Festival, or Albatwitch Day, which is just kind of a weird local thing in the area where I live, where I don't know, it's just about this like Bigfoot type creature called the Albatwitch that's like a local legend, I guess, and they just sell weird like paranormal stuff there. So I saw this one stand that had some CDs and tapes and whatnot, so I got this thing, kind of a blind buy, but I knew the label, which is Crucial Blast, or I guess Crucial Blaze. I don't know, it's like an imprint of one, which is normally like a kind of a noise industrial label, but this is just kind of a folk album. I actually just finished listening to it today. It's a pretty cool, so it kind of opens up into this book. So there's a CD on one side and a CD on the other, double CD. And then the inside here is a lot of these cool drawings with various lyrics. Yeah, just kind of lyrics to the songs with other drawings and stuff accompanying them. So, yeah, really nice packaging here. It's like psychedelic neo-folk, I guess, would be the most accurate descriptor. Oh, and it's called, the album's called Grave Needs, and the project is Time Moth Eye and the Spectral Light, which is a project of the guy behind Stone Breath. I think is his more popular project. But anyway, not entirely my kind of thing. It gets a bit boring over the course of 2 CDs. The first half is more like shorter, kind of traditional folk songs, and then the second CD is more like long-form, repetitive, droney kind of stuff, but it's still all just like folk. So, I don't know. It's alright. Just gets a bit boring, but yeah, if that sounds like your kind of thing, go for it. This also came with a patch that I put on my hoodie, but that's not currently in the room, so I can't show that. But it's a cool patch. It's just this cover art, this playing card. All right, next. This is Get Out by PETA. And this is not supposed to be so, like, faded, but that's because this is actually... I don't think it's ever got reprinted like this. This is actually a copy from 2001. And it came in two different versions. There's, like, a white... Or, sorry, a blue and a red version. So I got the blue version. But, yeah, PETA is Peter Reberg, I think is his name, who is the guy behind the Editions Mego label, which is cool label, releasing contemporary experimental electronica. So you can open it up here. You have a little thing that looks like the Facebook thumbs down kind of symbol, except Facebook didn't even exist back then. Oh, it was actually 1999, not 2001. My
Facebook
bad.
never had a dislike button, though.
Well, it's like the thumbs up, but like inversed, you know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. Anyway. CD. This is kind of just like a glitch album. It's sort of like Finesse, if you know that. I don't know. There's some kind of melodies in some of the tracks, and other tracks are just kind of abstract, noisy glitch sounds. Just sounds like a computer malfunctioning. I don't love all of it, but some of the tracks are really good. And yeah, it's a pretty interesting listen if you want just like very digital sounding noise. Next up is, I guess the project is Beneath the Lake, and the album is Silent Uprising. And it's this cool kind of package that unfolds like such. There's a whole thing that I admittedly have not read. It looks like a essay about some philosophical concepts. I don't know. But the CD is kind of just like mounted to a peg here. And yeah, this is kind of a dark ambient album, with some like field recordings worked in. Yeah, so if you're familiar with kind of that style, it's like, yeah, dark ambient music. It's very atmospheric and kind of creepy, but yeah, pretty good for what it is. If you like that genre, you'll like this probably. And I'll just show off another kind of similar thing here. That being Continuum. So this is a project. Let's see. Okay, I think it's Steven Wilson actually is like one half of this, who is like, yeah, he's part of some big like prog rock bands like Porcupine Tree, I think. But yeah, he has a weird like dark ambient collab side project with let's see, I think, okay, it's Vidna Obmana and Bass Communion. I'm not sure which one's Steven Wilson and which one's the other guy, but anyway. Yeah, dark ambient, drone. It came with these like bookmark sort of things. I don't know if they're supposed to be bookmarks. That's what I'm using them for. I don't have them in here because they're in various books around. I don't feel like getting them out, but yeah, just kind of a think of a DVD case sort of thing. Pretty cool packaging, very professional looking. Not an amazing album. Gets a little bit boring in my opinion, but again, it's kind of straightforward, dark ambient if you like that sort of thing. All right, and then we got Gas Money, which is a kind of various artists compilation. So the artists on here are Pyrrhic Thanatology Monger, which is the old project of Jim Harris, who is behind the project Deturge. Skin Graft, which is always great. Jay Soliday, I don't really know him. Winters in Osaka, I don't really know them. And Kufar, which is like, I think, Lebanese power electronics. I got number 29 of 50. And again, it's this kind of DVD case. Just pretty simple, opens up into here. I don't remember any really specific details from this. I remember generally liking it. Kind of goes between noise and kind of ambient droney stuff. I think Winters in Osaka was almost like drone metal or something. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. Just kind of a compilation of noise and related things that is pretty good, all things considered. And finally, for the CD portion, we got this thing. This is a CD by Twin Sister Moon called Bogey Realm Vessels. So Twin Sister Moon is one half of Natural Snow Buildings, which is one of my favorite musical projects ever. And Twin Sister Moon has also made some amazing stuff by himself. Yeah, Natural Snow Buildings is the duo of Mehdi something, I don't remember his last name, who's the guy behind Twin Sister Moon, and his wife Solange, who does all the artwork for their releases. She's a really great artist. This is like super cool. That's the main reason I got it, because this is like available online. But and it's also not really my favorite Twin Sisterman release. It's still great, but I mean, one of his albums is like, the When Stars Glide Through Solid is probably like one of my top 10 favorite albums ever. So it doesn't really compare to that, but yeah, it's just kind of like ambient, psychedelic, folk, drone kind of stuff. Very, very beautiful. His voice is incredible. And yeah, if you listen to Natural Snow Buildings or any of his other projects, you kind of know what to expect. But again, just really cool artwork. Kind of funny, actually. It's like, if you take the CD out, you have this one part where it shows this woman with like kind of what's in her head, and then like an alien with like what's in the alien's head here. So that's kind of a funny side-by-side comparison. And then, yeah, the cover art here is just depicting like aliens abducting people while they're like in a classroom. So very nice little thing here. This is one of the things I got for $1, so why not? All right, that's it for the CD portion. Now just tapes. All right, this is the last portion where we're talking about tapes. And I got kind of two stacks here. I got the normal kind of jewel case tapes, and I got the weirdly packaged ones. So we're going to start with the weirdly packaged ones. Actually, we're going to start with something that's not even a tape. This is an album, I guess it's a split by Extended Thorax and Noisteria Emission. And this is a floppy disk. I guess like not actually floppy kind, but yeah, it's floppy. I can't play it. I don't know how to play this, so I just kind of own it. But I played a show with this guy, and I gave him a CD, and he gave me this in return. So like, that was cool, I guess. He also, I guess, while I'm at it, I'll show you the other tape he gave me. It's sort of weirdly packaged. This is his tape Galactic Oscillations, and it has this cool like stamp. I wasn't sure how to open this, actually. It was kind of a challenge. I think I eventually like, dang, what did I do? Oh, I just slipped it off. Yeah, I kind of like broke it off and just slipped this thing out, because I don't know how to. I was trying to like cut this part and it was not working. So anyway, this is kind of cool, like analog synth, just sort of bloopy, abstract electronics. Generally not my type of thing, I guess, but like it's pretty good for that specific style, I guess. Next thing is, I think this is just called like January 2011 by Mother Whale. Yeah, it says Mother Whale on the side there. This is an interesting little box. I think some of them were like red marks and some of them were blue marks. So here's the back. So this is kind of opens, and inside is a tape, and also, well, like a card, I guess, kind of saying the kind of a weird version of the track list. There's actually only like 3 songs on here. I don't know why it lists all that. Credits. And then also, if you look further in the box, you kind of dump it out. It's just a bunch of loose tape. I don't know why exactly, but pretty interesting. I kind of was afraid that like the tape had unspooled in the thing at first, but there's plenty of tape in there too, so I don't know. It's just kind of extra cushioning, I guess. But this is pretty weird. I don't really know what to call it. It's just kind of like experimental rock. Some of it is just like, I don't know. I mean, some of it's not even that experimental. It's just kind of like lo-fi, almost like post-hardcore, just alternative rock, really. And then some of it's like kind of weird singer-songwriter, just like acoustic guitar and vocals kind of stuff, but it's like very distorted and blown out. I don't know. I don't really know what to call it, but I like it. I like what I heard. It's pretty interesting. This is Inoculum by Fragments. Yeah, I pretty much just got this because of the cool oversized packaging. You can see the tape in there. Hermitage Tapes is the label. Not really much to say about it. It's kind of like spacey, just electronic stuff. Kind of like dark ambient, but not particularly dark sounding. It's just sort of like bloopy, spacey electronics. It's alright. Not really my kind of thing. But next, this is an interesting one. This is Grim Housekeeper by Stegum. I don't know. And this is just packaged in a vacuum bag. Just a straight up vacuum bag. Because why not? I got copy 19 out of 50. This album's terrible. I don't like it at all. But the packaging is so cool that I don't care. I'm gonna keep it. It's really just lo-fi, unsatisfying, really basic noise. Not particularly good in any way. But the packaging is in a vacuum bag, so I gotta keep it. So you take it out, and it's this little thing. You open this up. You got the kind of the card saying what it is, and the 2 tapes. Also doesn't need to be 2 tapes because I think they're each like C20s, so it could have just been on one. But why not make it 2? So yeah, it's not a good album, but the packaging is so cool. Like I don't care. All right, next we got a various artists compilation called Coalition. This is on the New Forces label, which is a really good noise label, and has a lot of very good noise artists on it. Just some of the best in mostly American, aside from a few people, noise these days. So you got Neural, CC Spacek, Hostage Pageant, Skingraft, Mania, Volmir. Yeah, just a lot of great modern noise on here. I don't know what else to say. It's harsh noise, and it's very well done. So it's kind of in this bag that is very oversized. Yeah, it just has kind of the track list in the back there, and then another thing just saying all the artists. But yeah, not much else. It's just kind of sandwiched between these 2 papers. Here's the tape. Yeah, good noise. And then we got Macronympha with the album For Better or Worse in this very cool, oversized, I guess clamshell case is what these are called. Kind of interesting photos of people seemingly dead lying on their beds. So it opens up. You got this kind of insert saying the track list, 3 tapes, and yeah, Macronympha is one of my favorite noise groups. They are pretty long running. They did a lot of stuff in the 90s. They just got that kind of like very dense tape noise sound down to a formula, I guess. A lot of their stuff sounds pretty similar, but it's just great. It's very satisfying. Almost like wall noise, but with enough variation to not get too much in that territory. So yeah, great stuff. All right, moving on to the more normal tapes. I actually have a whole series of recycled tapes, which if you don't know is this series that RR Records do, where it's just kind of like $4 for a tape, and they just keep printing them, and they print them on old tapes. Basically, they just rewrite old random tapes that they find in the shop, and they also just like put duct tape over the artwork for the original tapes and just kind of draw on it with Sharpie, as you can see. So yeah, I mean, I just got some of my favorite noise artists on recycled tapes. So there's Alzagelzaga, which is yeah, just great, like kind of cut up harsh noise. Nothing really to show with any of these. It's all kind of the same packaging. They all have this little seal that I had to break to open them. Macronympha, who I just showed, doing their thing. Volmir, yeah, just straight up harsh noise wall, no variation whatsoever. This is pretty long actually. They're like 2 45-minute tracks, I think. So good to study to and that sort of thing, I suppose. The Rita, also kind of wall noise, a bit more variation maybe, but still pretty wallish. The duct tape is pretty funny on this one. Yellow Brick Road. And then Sickness, who I showed a record off earlier. Yeah, this is really good material from Sickness. This is all kind of more lo-fi than I guess a lot of these artists tend to work with, but yeah, it's good stuff. If you like these artists, I recommend pretty much all of these. So then we got kind of just a little EP called Kokyu, I think that's how you pronounce that, by Kazuma Kubota, who is a really good artist. He kind of blends cut up harsh noise with very beautiful ambient stuff, and kind of goes back and forth between those two, and also just mixes in some sound collage and field recordings and that sort of thing. This is pretty short. It's on New Forces, and it's real good. All of his stuff is pretty consistent in my opinion. So, if if you like any of his stuff, you should like pretty much the rest of it. But yeah, it's kind of inside there. Just like 3 little tracks. I think it's like just 15 minutes total. But yeah, it's harsh noise juxtaposed with very beautiful ambient stuff. Very good. And then next there is the tape by Hospital Bomber. This had a very elaborate packaging, actually. I don't really feel like digging out all the elements of it, but this was sort of mounted to like a little, not really a poster, just kind of like a piece of cardboard with some various edgy imagery on it. And then it had a poster that came out that was just kind of like a noose. I didn't feel like hanging that up. But yeah, and then this thing is like just wrapped in plastic. I had to break the plastic to get it out, and it's not really like an actual shell or anything. It also came with a sticker that I put on my audio interface over here. Oh yeah, this is the poster, just the bigger version of this. And then, yeah, here's the tape. Kind of a cool green translucent thing. The album isn't very good though. I mean, it's just like hardcore punk, but like really lo-fi to the point of being kind of unenjoyable. A little bit like power violence-y, I guess, but yeah, and here's the, I don't know if this is like the label card or what, but yeah. So, anyway, not very good sounding, but a very elaborate package with a lot of things. So I appreciate everything that they put into the packaging here, for sure. And then finally, we have the album, what is this called? Out the Mud by Church Shuttle. I guess this is just kind of a blind buy. I don't know. It's not very good. Kind of hit or miss when you do that sort of thing. Nice purple tape though. Yeah, I don't know. Can't really read what that's trying to say, but it just kind of sounds like someone who's not taking themselves very seriously. There's some like paint splashed in here. It's cool, but yeah, it just sounds like someone messing around with like weird objects and toys without really any intent or vision behind what they're doing. Not that there's a vision behind a lot of noise albums, but I don't know. It just sounds very amateurish, very silly, and like he just was not putting effort into this, so I don't really enjoy it. But it was an interesting listen, I suppose. Pretty different. Alright, that's it. Those are all my things. Thanks for watching. I still have a bunch of other stuff that I got from my most recent trip to Skeleton Dust and Encore Records and other places. But yeah, I haven't gotten around to listening to those yet, so expect that sometime in the future. Noise, among a few other things. Am I right? See you later. Thanks for watching.